Today, let's go over adjusting the height of the screen by changing the spacer between the base and the arm. Now, here I have my desk set at a good ergonomic height for me. My elbows are at a 90-degree angle relative to the keyboard here where I'm using it. So when I pull the screen out and start drawing on it, my elbow and wrist are aligned. So it makes it for a very easy drawing experience, comfortable. This happens at all the levels where I put the screen. The wrist and elbow, there's not a lot of deflection there. And if I pull the screen over the edge of the desk into its lowest mode, same thing. Elbow and wrist are in alignment, and likewise it works good here in your profile modes. So good alignment overall. But what happens if your desk isn't at the right height? Suppose it's a little too low. Now, by moving it down here, my elbow is not at a 90-degree angle. So there's a little wrist deflection at the keyboard, and if I pull the screen out over here for a drawing mode, there's a lot of wrist deflection here where my elbow goes down, comes up here, and it's just hard to both align the screen without a lot of wrist deflection. That happens pretty much at all the angles here. You get more wrist deflection as you move the screen around. It's just angle, angle. And you would just want one angle at your elbow and your wrist is in a natural position. So that's not good ergonomics, and here's how to fix it by changing your spacer. All right, through the magic of video editing, we've added a spacer. So the screen is now up higher off the desk. And we raised it by a 50 millimeter amount, or about 2 inches. So this is a 50 millimeter spacer tube. We combine that with the 20 millimeter spacer that came with your Zoot kit to raise it up a little bit. And in order to combine them, we used a stacker kit. Now this has a plate to go in between the tubes and some really extra long bolts to hold everything together. Now the instructions for that are down below with a link on how to install your spacers. All right, ergonomically, how do things work? Well, the keyboard is still too low. You can see here that my elbows are not at a 90 degrees. They go down, and it's workable, but not ideal. But drawing-wise, how does it affect things? Well, over here, that's completely different. So you can see that my arm and wrist are in a neutral position. Very good, easy to draw on the screen. I can go down here to a lower angle, still at a neutral position. I go down here, still at neutral, but I'm having to hunch over, so I like to have it at a little higher angle. Works great. How about over the edge of the desk? We'll pull that out here and put it to a profile mode. Good, little lower, that's good. Okay, I like that. And likewise, you can go down here and work on things in profile mode. So yes, this gives you options to adjust a Zoot system based on your workspace. So it doesn't have to all be for ergonomics. You can also do it if you have like a large piano keyboard in front, or you have some sculpture projects or things like this. These are just options for you to make the Zoot arm work for your individual workflow. And that wraps up spacers in a nutshell.